everyone. Greetings to you and happy autumn to every one of you. I know it was the autumn equinox a few days ago, but this is as close as Journey Songs is going to get. Well, I love this season. I don't know about you. This is actually my favorite season. But the transition from summer to autumn energetically has really hit me this time. I feel very tired, needing to sleep a lot, and just adjusting because we had quite a warm late summer in here in Britain. Obviously, summer has been crazy in many parts of the world. But I'm loving the fact that it's autumn and I'm looking forward to getting out and doing some long walks and sitting beside by some fires and having some lovely warm drinks, um, like my beloved cup of tea. How are you doing, everyone? Let's just check in with everyone. Ezria is always first. Hey, Ezria, I've actually got to lower you down here. I don't know what happened there. Hang on a sec. Hello, Ezria. Good to see you. Hello. Actually, can you see all that? Hello, Clark. How everyone? I think the lettering is going to be very big, which is actually quite a good thing. Lovely to see you, Ezria and Marcia. Hi, Clark. In a Woman already touches my heart. You are such a brilliant and fantastic songwriter. Thank you, Marcia. There are just a few artists that have just something special. Well, you have that. Thank you, Marcia. As ever, I appreciate your lovely words there. Zena is saying, hi, Clark. Hi, everyone. Hello, Zena. How are you doing? Nicholas, I noticed this earlier, Nicholas. You're saying, hi, Clark, and hello, everyone. Hope all is well. I am recovering from a toe injury. I hope you are fully recovered now, Nicholas. I'm going to lower down these messages. Sorry about that. Yeah, that sounds nasty, Nicholas. I hope you're doing well. Sue, hi, Clark, and everyone. Hope you're well. Another gem of a song this week. Excellent, Sue. Good to see you here. Claire, in Northern Ireland. Hi, Clark. Hi, everyone, from a very wet and windy county Antrim. That's amazing, Claire. We all have such different weather at the moment, but we're really not that far away. It's very kind of mild here and dry and autumnal. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Kimberly is saying hello to Ezra. Hello, Kimberly. I'll say hello to you now. And Sonia is saying, good evening, Clark. How are you? I'm excited for another musical journey. That will be exciting. Greetings from Kazakhstan. Greetings to you, Sonia. I hope you are doing fab. Megan, hi, Clark. Hi, everyone. Greetings from Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Hello, Megan. Glad you could make it to this Journey Songs. And Veronica Ricky Woo is saying, hello, Clark. Greetings from Malaysia. Hello, Veronica. Good to see you. Emma. Hi, Clark and everyone. I have missed you so much because I was in hospital with bad pain in my stomach. But the COVID I got there is nearly gone. Glad to be here today. I'm so glad to hear that, Emma. You did message me, and I got the message from your brother that you were, dealing with this. I'm glad you're on the mend. I really am. And welcome back. Good to have you here, Emma. Rocio. Hello, beautiful song today. Had never heard it before. Rocio, you're not alone. No one had. Previously unreleased. This is all from disc 2 of Journey Songs 2. In fact, you might not have heard much of disc 1 either, or disc 3. You definitely won't have heard anything of. So this is all new material, actually. Great, Rossi. I'm glad you like it. Neil, hello, everyone. As the live Journey Songs gig draws a little closer, how many of the tracks have you decided will make the show so far, Clark? Good question, Neil. And actually, I was thinking about the set list for the next Johnny Hates Jazz gig, which I'll talk about in a minute, and saying to myself, as soon as I've done this gig, which is actually next Wednesday, I will get the set list finalised for Journey Songs Live in Liverpool. It's a 1.5 hour show, so it's going to be probably about if 15, 16 songs. Bear in mind, I talk quite a lot. If you hadn't already noticed. So yeah, it'd probably be about that. So yeah, it's going to be good. But I've got some ideas, but it's not finalised. I might ask all of you for a bit of a vote soon. Good question, Neil. And Lieb, hello, Clark, from a fresh, windy Kashmir. Grey clouds and thunder, but not rain. The night is very pleasant. Enjoying Journey Songs. Great, and Lieb, sounds beautiful there. Lovely weather as well. Glad you could make it. And Antonia Goedemiddag, alles goed met jou? Ja, alles is prima met jou, dankjewel. Vanmiddag wezen lopen. Well, I can't remember how to say this in Dutch. 1,565 steps. Um, Beautiful weather in Holland. Wonderful, Antonia. And thank you for joining us. That's great, and you obviously having lovely weather there. Chris. Hi, Clark, and everyone. Looking forward to today's Journey Songs from a cloudy but pleasant Liverpool afternoon. Always a sunny treat when Journey Songs is upon us. Thank you, Chris. Thanks very much. Very much looking forward to Journey Songs live up in beautiful Liverpool. I imagine that's quite a vibey kind of weather up there, actually, being a port city as well, and a very special port city. Okay, just a couple more, everyone. Then I'm going to zoom ahead because quite a lot to cover here. Daz, hi, Clark, and everyone. Looking forward to the story behind the song on this very windy afternoon here in Cheshire. My goodness, you've all got a lot of diverse weather. Daz, thanks for making it. Angie, greetings from Grimsby. Sorry, Angie. Greetings from Grimsby. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Hi, everyone. Hi, Clark. Hope everyone is safe and well this evening. Angie, good that you could join us. Thank you very much. I did get your message. I'm sorry I haven't replied more fully, but it was a very important message, so thank you very much. And of course, you come from the birthplace of the great Rod Temperton. I mean, that is a serious claim to fame that Grimsby has. Wonderful. Welcome back, Lucretia. Hi, Clark. Hi, everyone. Great to be back. What a beautiful song, Clark. Oh, great. Thank you. Lots of lovely instruments in this song, including the haunting Irish whistle and Phil Gould on drums. Brilliant. I'm in love with this song already and can't wait to play this upcoming CD, Clark. I hope everyone is well. What a lovely message. And I think I will just zoom ahead and very quickly say hello to Halle. Greetings from unusually warm Scotland, everyone. Looking forward to another heartwarming session. Halle, good to see you here. Thanks for coming. And Leslie says, hi, Clark, and hello, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying the beginning of autumn or whichever season it may be where you are. Good point. I never knew that I could love the sound of the flute so much as with this week's song. It's gorgeous. Thank you very much, Leslie. The Irish whistle, which is what it technically is actually all over the Journey Songs 2 album. Mainly played by the great James McNally, who we'll talk about in a minute. Okay, I'm going to zoom forward, everyone, and talking about Journey Songs live. As you know, the Liverpool gig on November the 18th is sold out, but the good news is that Chris and I have spoken, and there's going to be 2 or 3 songs filmed live at the venue that I can show you afterwards. Those of you who didn't come to see the gig will have a chance to see it in some form. But yeah, it's going to be very, very special. And the next thing on my list, of course, is what I mentioned earlier. Johnny Hates Jazz at the Forge in Camden in London next Wednesday, supported by the Dutch band Tristan. It's going to be a very special gig. We've had some amazing gigs recently for those of you who were able to come, and I appreciate everyone who did come. It's not easy to make it to London and Cardiff when you live in places like Kashmir and Kazakhstan and wherever, Minnesota. So I do appreciate everyone who made it there. So this is a big one for Johnny Hates Jazz. Kind of a new beginning for us. New management and new direction. So there you go. That's what is upcoming now. Journey Songs 2. It's finished. The artwork's finished. The music is finished. The mastering's finished. Everything. However, I am being meticulous. And I had to be this way when I did Journey Songs 1 because if you remember, folks, Journey Songs 1 has a very unique finish on it. It's got this what is called spot varnish, which is just on the photograph and on the writing. And that's... anyway, that's one of the processes that are involved in Journey Songs 1. Journey Songs 2 is the same concept, okay? And I am being meticulous in making sure it's absolutely right. So that means it's not going to be ready for release on October the 10th. I'm really sorry about this, but the good news is it's only a couple of weeks delay. It'll be end of October, sorry. End of October when it's available and winging its way to you signed and everything and glittering with all these songs that I hope you will enjoy on the CDs themselves. I've seen the artwork in detail. I've been going through making corrections and this kind of thing. It's really, really cool. If you like Journey Songs 1, you'll love Journey Songs 2, I think. It's looking really beautiful. So anyway, sorry about that, everyone. Couple of weeks delay, but I don't anticipate more than that. And because of that, I am going to move the exclusive live stream into the tracks back a short ways, couple of weeks actually, to October the 29th. It was October the 15th, everyone. I hope that doesn't inconvenience everyone too much. October the 29th, 2 Sundays later, the exclusive live stream only for people who have pre-ordered the CD. So if you haven't and you want to be part of that, then I'd suggest pre-ordering, even though the CD will then become available at the end of October. You know, immediately you can buy it and be sent to you, but you won't be part of this live stream into the tracks. This is the one where I go into the actual recordings of 4 tracks from Journey Songs 2, and I show you what I see when I work at my mixing desk, and we go through the different instruments, and you hear the different instruments on different tracks, and we build them up, and then you hear the whole mix, and it's great stuff. So I hope you will come along for that. Did that with Journey Songs 1, and I did that with Journey Songs 1 actually quite a lot, and it was well received, I think. So everyone, that's kind of a lightning quick introduction into what I was going to say. So before I go any further, I don't know if you can see, but I've upped the ante with some of the visuals here. There's actually a color that is moving around Journey Songs here. It's going from yellow to blue to yellow to blue to match the design, of course. So that's on a lot of things you'll see today. I did it just because I could do it, really. Okay, I need a quick cup of tea, everyone, because I need my voice for this song. I believe everyone's got their mugs and t-shirts and tops and everything, and things have gone smoothly now after a couple of bumps along the way, but I'm really glad it seems to have worked itself out. Excuse me. With a bit of help from Neil and a lot of shall we say raising my voice from me to the people involved. Let's just say hello to a few more people. We've got Annabella saying here, hello Clark, and hello to all beautiful friends here now. Hand pink waving, hello to you, Annabelle. Great you could make it. And Fatima is saying hello everyone. Hello to you, Fatima. Hope you're keeping fab. And Nihal is saying, let me break out in tears. I love your songs, Nihal. That's beautiful. Thank you very much, Nihal. Well, this is actually a very emotional song, and I have to say, I didn't know how you were all going to take this one. It's one of the reasons I held it back towards the end. Not that Journey Songs is going to end, but the end of the Journey Songs 2 aspect of Journey Songs is going to end at the winter solstice. I won't be covering any more songs, certainly not on a regular basis of my own after that, but I will be doing something else, so I'm not going anywhere. That was kind of an interesting way to announce my plans, wasn't it? But I'm really glad you loved this one. Lax from beautiful Austin, good day to you, Clark, and the Journey Songs community. Hey Lax, good to see you. Thanks for your message, man. I appreciated that a lot. Sam is here. Hi Clark, really looking forward to today's song. I do like lyrics in this. The sun has come out finally in Stroud. Lottie says to say hello. Hello to you, Lottie, as well. Hope you're well. Have a great gig on the 27th. Thank you, Sam. Sam's daughter Lottie, as you know, is doing backing vocals on the 80s classical version of Turn Back the Clock. And she very bravely got up on stage with us in Cardiff to do backing vocals for Turn Back the Clock there and then. And she did great. She sounded great as well. So, yes, what a star. Fantastic. Well done, Lottie. It was great to have you on stage. And Simon from Hailsham FM is saying, hello, Clark and all. Hope you're having good weekends. Looking forward to this. Simon and Nikki. Hey, Nikki, how are you doing as well? and a hi to Steve. Hi everyone, busy week for you, Clark. Hope you're well. Looking forward to seeing you in Liverpool on the 18th of November. Great to see you there, Steve. Fantastic. It is a busy week. Yes, it is. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna just get into make sure I've covered everything. Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't sure how you would take In a Woman because it's. I think when I wrote it, the concept of the title and what the song is about was one thing, and I think it might be certainly the title will be interpreted differently today, which is a shame actually because the concept of it is one that is still very much needed. In fact, possibly more needed now. So I'll get to that in a minute. And also musically, it's well, I always loved In a Woman. I always really loved it. It was really more. I just wasn't sure how you'd feel about um, the subject, but it sounds like a lot of you really love it, and I'm really pleased to hear that. So that's fantastic. So who's playing on In a Woman? Well, you've heard me talk about these musicians before, including yours truly down here on bouzouki. I wrote this on bouzouki. There is my bouzouki that I wrote it on, Viviana. I've got other bouzoukis over here, but it's my very first bouzouki in that picture as well. And I play keyboards as well. And then on drums, so here, everyone, sorry, I'm using my cursor, which you can't see. Here is Phil Gould, the original drummer from Level 42, one of the main songwriters in Level 42. Here you've got David Rhodes on guitar, Peter Gabriel's guitarist, Talk's guitarist, played with a lot of great people, but David is unique, fantastic player. And then next to David Rhodes, you've got James McNally, as I was telling you about earlier, who plays a lot on the Journey Songs 2 material. He doesn't just play Irish whistle, he plays bodhrán, which is an Irish drum, and accordion. Fantastic player. And then beneath James is my old friend Tony Caddle on bass, who is originally from Bristol but has been living in Norway for many years. Great player is Tony, and a lovely fella. And yeah, there's me as well, like I said, below, struggling with figuring out what to play. It was probably In a Woman, actually. And of course, James' Irish whistle playing is really important in this track. And in the acoustic version, you're going to hear it's not there. So it's going to sound really different. There's no solo. There's no da 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 da. That's not in there. So it's a different kind of, very kind of, personal version, this one. Okay. So In a Woman, yes, disc 2 on Journey Songs 2. What I'm going to do, I'll very quickly say this, folks, we're episode 56, so there's another 4 songs to do before I complete my cycle of doing Journey Songs 2. Now, that doesn't mean that I will have done all the songs on Journey Songs 2. There'll be others that I won't have done, and maybe at some point next year I will do those, but I'm actually going to take Journey Songs in a slightly different direction in the new year, and I'll tell you more about that closer to the time. So there's only going to be 4 more songs after today. Episode 57, 58, 59 is 60, and I know what episode 60 is. I know the song I'm going to be doing for the winter solstice. The other 3, there'll be another 1 from disc 2 and 2 from disc 3 actually, which has got some cool things on it. Really, really excellent tracks, I think. So, and it doesn't mean there's only 4 episodes left though. There's a 5th, which is into the tracks. So that's the 5th episode that is still going to happen. But like I say, that's exclusive to people who pre-ordered the album. Okay. Now, the concept of In a Woman. Let's look at it in a very simple way. Okay? And then we'll get into something more serious. But I've referenced Back to the Future before. So I wanted to mention Back to the Future because most of you will have seen it. Hopefully all of you will have seen it. And in some ways, these are 3 archetypes of males, in a very comedic way. But it's kind of true. On the left here, you've got, of course, Biff, who is very aggressive and, very forthright with the women. He's built very big, and he's an asshole. Let's face it. But he's an aspect of malehood. On the other extreme, you've got Marty's father, George McFly, who is another extreme. He's very fearful. He's very timid. He's very unsure of himself, lacking confidence. He's slightly built. He's the opposite in many ways to Biff. And in the middle, you've got Marty. And Marty is the symbol of balance between the two. In other words, he's got a bit of both. He's got a bit of lacking in confidence. He's a little bit afraid. Who wouldn't be? But he's also got the kind of he can be dynamic at times and be courageous and that's the kind of part of him that is warped in Biff. But he's got that very kind of, he's got that inner strength. So he's kind of, Biff is insensitive, George is overly sensitive, and Marty is the balance. Okay, so that's what Inner Woman is about, in a kind of a fun way. So, in reality, folks, I could go on about this subject for a long time, and I won't. And believe me, in putting this episode together, I actually found it quite difficult, because all the songs I wrote at that time were things that I was dealing with in myself and also observing in the world around me. And when I wrote this song, the way the world was being portrayed for men was bad enough. It's got worse. And so we need to talk about this. But of course, that I often talk about women, and I like to think of myself, and I hope I am, a great defender and upholder of women's rights. So this affects you too, because anything that affects women is going to affect men. Anything that affects men is going to affect women. So what we're dealing with in Inner Woman, folks, is this concept of the internalized image. So what is the internalized image? When you're growing up, it's the images that you see that you relate to, or you're supposed to relate to, that you internalize and think, that's what I'm supposed to be. That's what it is to be a fully grown man. That's what it is to be a fully grown woman. And of course, in tribal, indigenous cultures, they were aware of this. Most of them were very aware of this, because they shared the same depth and breadth of knowledge back then. And this is all pre-organized religion, all pre-industrialization, obviously. And of course, the young women would learn from the wise elder women, and in particular their mothers, and aunts as well. And the young men would learn also from the older women, but they'd learn from the wise elder men and their fathers and uncles, etc. And so they were very careful about what they presented to young people as to what they were going to internalize, who they wanted to be. Was it perfect? Did it create a perfect society everywhere it was adopted in that way? No, of course not, because individuals are still individuals, and they're still going to make individual choices. And madness has been throughout the world. I'm not talking about in a medical sense. I'm talking about in the sense of how people struggle just with their day-to-day lives. So young women, of course, then with the rise of organized religion and the way societies became structured, were given kind of a very clear choice. In the Christian world, an example, they were given Virgin Mary or Mary Magdalene. So Virgin Mary, the Holy Mother, Mary Magdalene, the prostitute. So there was no middle ground. It was one or the other. And which is a split in someone. That's a chasm. What happens when someone's mental capacity is split like that? And you just have to look at today's female pop and rap and hip hop stars to see what a lot of them have chosen, because that's the image they were given when they were growing up and they internalized. To be successful, I need to be like that. Okay? The prostitute like aspect is what I'm talking about. That's not all female artists, of course, but so that's really rampant now. But what about young men? With young men, we have to remember that men throughout the ages, whereas women were, childbearing and raising kids, etc., and still had to work damn hard, of course, but men were the majority of the workforce for a long, long time, and of course the majority of the military, which they still are. And so for those in control, to get them to do their bidding, in other words, make the stuff they wanted them to make for next to nothing, if anything, and to fight their wars for them, for the aggrandizement of those particular individuals, they had to present them with images to internalize that would equate to success. So what do? You make guns, violence, and war sexy. Guns, violence, war, sexy. That's not being a man or a balanced man at all. That's being a completely unbalanced extreme. Now, I have to say, folks, as a young guy, as a young child, I played war games all the time. I was obsessed with war. I watched war films. I was really into it. So I know the pull. I know that aspect of being a guy that finds that exciting. But that's when you're a child. And unfortunately, in so doing, it has worked, because you look at, for example, the guys who joined Islamic State, or who are joining Wagner, they really saw it as being a cool thing to be part of, empowering. And now, whereas, over the ages, of course, men were looking at the internalized image of their fathers especially. And I'm not saying that was always balanced. Of course it wasn't. I'm really generalizing here. But now, more and more, they're not being influenced primarily by those elder figures. They're being influenced by this. Now, this existed in a slightly different form when I wrote In a Woman, but now, through the rise of the internet especially, it's all over the place. This is supposed to constitute a strong man, okay? Muscles, supercars, some relationship with Dubai, weaponry, jewelry, brands, and it's somehow accepted. It's nuts. Folks, it's nuts, and it's sending the world in a very dangerous direction. This is, like I said, this is how they could get so many young people to join Islamic State who otherwise wouldn't have done. Or Wagner, like I said, or any other conflict that's happening around the world. So, this equates to, what does this equate to? It equates to success. Money, power, sex. And I think a lot of men over the years have become very, very angry because they can't achieve this. They don't know how to, and some of them actually don't want to. But it's the internalized image they're given. When I was young, this is true for a lot of you as well, the images I internalized as I grew up were actually musicians more than anything. It was Lennon and McCartney. It was Stevie Wonder. It was Led Zeppelin. It was the Isley Brothers. They were what was important, and their messages were, by contrast with today, unbelievably balanced, unbelievably spiritual. So music is fulfilling a different function now. It's still incredibly influential, but it now serves the corporate world way more than it used to. And partly that's because musicians and the music business depends on advertising more than anything. Advertising keeps music going. Didn't used to. It was actually the nemesis of music, advertising. So basically, I started to ask myself when I wrote this in the 90s, what is it to be a balanced male? Because I have extremes in myself like everyone. But I kept seeing this kind of muscular, violent, wealthy image of a guy, fast cars, explosions, guns everywhere, in the media, and thinking, but that's not me. But I'm not the other extreme either. So where do I find the balance? And so what I decided to do was write a song about going inside myself and to balance the parts of me which are typically male. I'm being generalizing here, but men were very much the hunters and the protectors and the warriors. Okay, and of course there were women who did that as well. All right, but in general, so that's in me. But how do I stop that becoming extreme? Well, I look at the powers of the feminine. So nurturing, compassion, healing, other kinds of protection, the preservation of life, because women, of course, give birth to life. We men do not. And find that part inside myself, spiritually, and recognize it as part of me. In other words, we're all, you've heard me talk about this before, we're all a duality. We're all, more than a duality actually, but we're all essentially male and female, or for a woman, female and male. Now, how you conceptualize that is many ways of seeing it. But the idea that we have, let's just put it in a very basic way, male traits and female traits within each of us is important because one balances the other. If one gets too out of balance, then we get out of balance. So it's a question of balance. And I think when this phrase gets used a lot, toxic masculinity, I think it's missing the point. It's almost saying it just happens. Men are toxic. This is what they're like. No, unless you give young men the chance to be balanced by giving them images to internalize that are balanced and are intelligent and are courageous and kind, things are going to get toxic. So this is important, folks, because we are experiencing more and more conflicts and men acting in more and more very, very aggressive and violent ways in those conflicts, and we don't want to go down that road any further. So in a woman is actually very important. So that's kind of my long-winded explanation of why I wrote it, and I hope that makes sense. Just looking at the time, everyone. I've got my contact lenses in, so I don't see so clearly at the moment. I hope that resonates with you. I have written songs in the past specifically for women. You might remember a song called You Belong to You, very much for women. It felt right, and I wanted to write a song for young men to say, I'm with you. You deserve better. These kind of hyper-sexualized images of men that I've described earlier, that you see very much present in pop and rap and hip-hop now. Not all artists from those realms, but you do a lot. You see it more than you used to see it in, areas like heavy metal or, punk or whatever. You really didn't see it there, but you did a bit in heavy metal. But it's really to the fore now that we desperately need to bring some balance to our young men, okay? And first and foremost, that's going to come from elder men. And we've got a lot of work to do. But you know what? As a musician, if I can't reach them, I don't have a chance. And this comes down to how come you've never heard this song? Well, you never heard any of the songs on Journey Songs 2, probably, because the music industry heard me and said, you ain't going to write about that. We're not going to back this. You know, you play ball. This is the 90s, remember. Things had changed. The 80s, 70s, 60s, you could say a lot of things. 90s, it all changed. It started getting narrow, controlled. All the independent labels got sold to big multinational corporations. Anyway, it's another story. But that's why you didn't hear these songs. I was so forthright and unyielding when I played what I played to the music business. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. They said, you're going to play ball and not at all. So fortunately, in these times, the internet does allow me the possibility to share this with you, and how wonderful. That's one of the wonderful aspects of the internet. It's got some dodgy things about it, but it's got some beautiful things too. So I'm glad I can share this with you eventually. And you know what, folks? If you get a chance to play it to a young man who is searching and you think it might resonate with, play it to them. That's the idea. Music is about communication and sharing ideas, believe it or not. It's not about aggrandizing yourself, becoming super wealthy, and buying a stupid-looking car that cost a fortune. It's about sharing ideas, uplifting humanity. So if you know someone who would like to hear this, you think, play it to them. Please do. That goes from all the songs that I've been sharing with you on Journey Songs, especially on Journey Songs 2. Okay. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm just going to check in with you and we'll do the song. I have to get used to not drinking in front of the microphone. Okay. So there you go. I could go on for a lot longer and could be far deeper. And it's really hard in these kind of situations, folks, because I've made notes. I know what I want to convey, but I need much more time and we need to go slower. So I'm kind of skimming across the surface here. But let's just see where everyone is at. I'm just going to jump in here, okay? Okay, Marcia, I haven't said hello to you yet. Hi, Clark and everyone. Spring greetings from Brazil. It's good to be here. Wonderful and spiritual song. I love too much this song. Grateful, Marcia. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. Thank you. Steve. Sorry, Clark. Missing this week's episode. Is currently in Bodrum getting sunburned. I've pronounced that incorrectly, haven't I? I'm sure I have. See you Wednesday. Steve, take care. Oh, yeah. See you there, of course. Janice. Hi, Clark. Happy to see you. Hope you are doing great. I am, Janice. I hope you're doing great after my long-winded explanation. Davina is saying, great to see you again, Clark and everyone. Great to see you, Davina. I'm going to zoom ahead here because I want to see what you're all saying. Okay. Fatima is saying, I really liked it and I want to know the meaning behind it, hence why I'm here. Muffled voice because I'm eating cookies. Let's hear it. Yes, I don't have cookies here today, as you can tell. I've been eating too many of them recently. Halit is saying, this is a powerful statement. Oh my, we're governed by men, children. Yes, we are. I don't think all of them, actually. I think it's unfair, but I think I might have said to you before that a Native American elder woman said to me that the majority of humanity have not achieved adulthood. So that includes all of us. But yes, you're right. If we're going to be governed by men, and we need to be governed by men and women, of course, they all need to be balanced, and we all play a role in that. It's going to take many, many years and probably generations to undo a lot of the damage that has been done over hundreds of years, not just the last 30 years. Zara is saying, hi Clark and everyone, hope you're well. Glad to join today's Journey songs, Inner Woman and the background to this track. Great. Thank you very much, Zara. I'm glad you could make it. And okay, and here we go. Oh, I've got a good friend of mine. Hi Clark, good to see you. Hey Rich, how you doing? Richard, a good friend of mine, and my cousin John. Hey John, how you doing? Hope you and the family are well. John is my cousin over there in Kentucky. Um, and what we got? Bob here. Hey Clark, getting here late. Had to go to work for a bit. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, Bob. I hope you caught all my preamble there. Um, and Davina is saying, I couldn't agree more with what you just said, Clark. Thank you, Davina. That's good to hear. I'm glad I'm on the right track here. And Lax is saying, waiting for your rendition of Inner Woman, Clark. Great set of coloured buttons on that shirt, by the way. Lax, thank you. I'm glad you get an extra point for noticing that. Okay. Lots of people here saying hello, and that's wonderful, everyone. I think it's time for a song, but I'm just going to jump in here. Nihal is saying, men were raised by women. Women are wrong. They raise their boys without love. This is very false. The war between men and women does not end because of the imbalance. Nihal, I think that is probably in saying that there is more you'd want to talk about, but I don't think it's a question of women being wrong, personally. I think it's a question of society not understanding what young men need, and to that, in that way, young women as well. I think in the distant past it was very different. I think it's over the years it's got that authority that the elders had has been weakened, and of course the elders are not the same as they used to be. You know, everyone's been affected. When I'm an old person, I will not be the same as a Celtic elder from 5,000 BC. I'm sure that was a bit going back a bit far, actually, 5,000 years ago, I should say. So anyway, but that's what Journey Songs is all about. We're exchanging ideas, and I am just noticed this is a lovely message here. Rebecca is saying, it's about time someone voiced this in public. Clark, good for you. Thank you, Rebecca. Yes, well, it's I'm sure kind of stirring up things for all of us, because we all want to do the right thing by the younger generation. But somehow we're going to have to wrest control from the people that are pumping all kinds of crazy images into their minds. And I'm not sure how we do that unless there's more people like me making music like this, or writing books, or making films, or whatever, that presents a different view of the world. Okay. Everyone, I think it's time for the song. I will just have... Actually, I'm going to just quickly go with something that Steve said. I like this a lot. As long as we all show one another respect, whatever our differences, that is at least a start. I very much agree with that, Steve. This is very, very important, and there's too much very aggressive communication going on, especially on the internet, between one another. And this is a very important starting point if we're going to have a rational debate and discussion with some depth and hopefully a positive outcome. I agree with that. Okay, I'm going to have a quick bit of water and then the song. So here we go. I feel the time is approaching. I'm encroaching upon the territory so forbidden to the feelings of a man. These emotions are uncharted, but I'm going in, yeah. Where there is pain and there is fear, where male pretensions disappear, and I found myself a guide in a woman. Walk with me With your sensitivity, soothe my sorrow, release my rage, heal my brothers, and there'll never be another war to wage. I'm searching for an identity that belongs to me, but everywhere I look I see these images of Chippendales with guns, or of corporate clones armed with mobile phones, who will raid Mother Earth for all she's worth. The desert's overrun my soul, and I must find a watering hole and make me whole again. In a woman, walk with me, cool my fire with your sensitivity, soothe my sorrow, release my rage, heal my brothers, and there'll never be another war to wage. And man will come of age, the sun's gotta keep on shining through, without eclipsing the moon. The power of the opposites inside of me, the roar of the hurricane, the gentle caress of the summer breeze. Ooh, yeah. In a woman, in a woman, walk with me. Through pretending that I am something other than I am. Oh, there's more to me than this. In a woman, walk with me, cool my fire with your sensitivity, soothe my sorrow, release my rage, heal my brothers, and there'll never be another war, another war, another war to wage. Walk with me, cool my fire with your sensitivity, soothe my sorrow, release my rage, heal my brothers, and there'll never be another war to wage. And man will come of age. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. What I realized I didn't do, but I'd started the song already, was I hadn't gone through the lyrics with you. So let's just quickly do this now, because we've got time. And I'm sorry, I should have done it first. I always do it so that everyone kind of understands more what I'm singing about. Okay. I feel the time is approaching. I'm encroaching upon the territory so forbidden to the feelings of a man. These emotions are uncharted, but I'm going in, I'm going in. Now that's a man looking at the moon, symbol of femininity. And he's saying, I'm going into this part of myself which is forbidden for men to look at, this feminine part of themselves, because they immediately think that it equates to sexuality. It doesn't. It often doesn't. Maybe in certain situations it does. In my situation it didn't. But that's where there's confusion. We need to look at these parts of ourselves to achieve balance. Okay. Where there is pain and there is fear, where male pretensions disappear, pretensions, must be strong, must be successful, must be wealthy, must have a fast car. And I found myself a guide. So who is my guide? Inner woman, walk with me. Cool my fire with your sensitivity. Soothe my sorrow, release my rage. Heal my brothers, and there'll never be another war to wage. I'm searching for an identity that belongs to me, but everywhere I look I see these images of Chippendales with guns. Chippendales is a male stripping group. You've probably heard of them, Chippendales. Very muscly and everything, very hypersexualized. Chippendales with guns, okay? So this is the image here. But everywhere I look I see these images of Chippendales with guns, or of corporate clones armed with mobile phones who will rape Mother Earth for all she's worth. I'm talking about the corporate world here. The deserts overrun my soul, and I must find a watering hole and make me whole again. Inner woman, walk with me. Cool my fire with your sensitivity. Soothe my sorrow. Release my rage. Heal my brothers, and there'll never be another war to wage. Now, here we get to the point of balance. The sun's got to keep on shining through, sun being representative of male energy, without eclipsing the moon, without overshadowing female energy. They both need to exist together. The power of the opposites inside of me, the roar of the hurricane, the gentle caress of the summer breeze, the male and the female. I'm through pretending that I am someone other than I am. Oh, there's more to me than this. In other words, I couldn't keep up with the, kind of the hyper masculine images that I was just talking to you about. I'm a different kind of person. In my case, musician, poet. Think differently. Inner woman, walk with me. Cool my fire with your sensitivity. Soothe my sorrow. Release my rage. Heal my brothers, and there'll never be another war to wage. And I didn't put it in here, but and man will come of age. It's very important. And man will come of age. That means men will finally become real men, balanced men. Interesting phrase that, isn't it? I say real men, and we immediately go somewhere else in our minds, not talking about balanced men. Balanced men. There's not many of those in the world. We've just got to try. Okay, everyone. That was my slightly back-to-front version of doing Inner Woman. Lyrics at the end. It might have worked. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, everyone. And just a few comments here. Chris is saying, really strong performance there, Clark. Quite a feat getting so much passion from a standing start in a home environment. Brilliant. Very true, Chris. That is true. It's kind of, yep, you got it. Rosaria. Hi, Clark. I have loved your music and voice since I was 17 years old. 49 now. Rosaria, you are still young. Believe me. That's lovely. Thank you so much. And Zara is saying, great lyrics really makes you think about life and what is important. Thank you, Zara. That's why I write them, really, for myself and to share with other people. Bob is saying this is pretty deep, Clark, but I understand the direction meaning you are conveying. Thank you, Bob. Yes, it's hard to encapsulate in such a short space of time, but I'm glad you dug it. And Marcia is saying, "What a fantastic performance, an interesting episode, Clark. You are really an icon. Thank you, Marcia. That's very kind of you. Well, I hope this music will reach more and more people so they can be part of the conversation." Rebecca is saying, "Loved meeting your inner woman, Clark. Gorgeous music, very enlightening and enjoyable live stream. All the best until next time, Rebecca." Take care, Rebecca. Good to hear from you. Everyone, I really thank you for joining me on this. And Ezria is saying, "You take my breath away." Wonderful, Ezria. I love that. That's a lovely comment. And Roy Paul is saying, "Wow, thank you, Clark." Thank you, Roy Paul. Thank you very much. Sam is saying, "Love this. Total respect, Clark. I said it when I bought your first singles in the very early 80s. I still remember saying to my mom, he's the best songwriter ever." Oh, that's very kind, Samantha. That's very kind, Sam. And to all of you who think that, the few of you who do, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. And Steve says, "Great, yet another classic." I think we'll end on that, Steve. I like that comment. You've all made lovely comments. Sorry I can't respond to everyone, but thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another Journey songs, maybe from Disc 3 next week. It's going to sound quite different because I recorded them earlier in the 90s. But anyway, everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. See you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Have a great few days coming up, and make the most of the unveiling of autumn. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Adios.